They say the only thing that scares you more than failure is success. You know, the first time I did Little Kim's hair, it cost me thousands of dollars. You have to be willing to sacrifice.
Hello and welcome to Hair Queen TV. My name is Saika, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with none other than Karl J. He's a celebrity stylist that has worked on legendary people all the way from Lil Kim to Jay-Z's team, all the way up to new artists like Bad Baby. So hello and welcome, Karl J.
Hello, my name is Karl Jackson. I'm originally from the East Coast. I've been doing hair for over 20 years, my entire life. And, you know, I've worked with, you know, everyone from, you know, the Bad Boy team, you know, from Lil Kim to Foxy Brown to everyone else. And Megan Good, Vivica Fox, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s, all the way up to now, you know, working with the current artists as well. And, you know, just been, you know, doing my thing for a while now.
Yeah, I love that. So really quick, actually, if you can also kind of talk to us about what initially got you interested in hair to begin with.
That's a good question. I always say that nothing really got me into hair because hair got into me at a young age. Like, I feel like when you have a passion, you don't choose it. Your passion chooses you, and it's up to you to listen to it. And I just was one of the ones that was, you know, smart enough at a young age to listen to the calling that I had on me, and I pursued it. But it wasn't a deliberate choice, like, what am I going to do with my life or anything like that. When I was young, I just had like a fascination with hair, you know, just whether it was my mom's or, you know, just something that I always loved, mine, you know, and I just took it, you know, I just focused on it and took it to where I am today.
Got you. So when was it that you kind of realized that this was something you could take seriously?
Probably my freshman year in high school. My aunt, who had a hair salon in Philadelphia, she took me to a hair show. Okay. And when she took me to a hair show, it kind of just opened my eyes to like the realm of possibility of the beauty industry. Right. And you know, she lived a decent life, and you know, she, you know, put into me, you know, the possibilities of what I can do. And once I was at that show and I seen the different artists and, you know, what they were doing and how they were living, and it just excited me, and it just kind of like just sparked something in me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you actually mentioned that hair is actually an artistry. So there's a lot of different aspects that go into that. What would you say was kind of the first thing that grabbed you? Were you more not like, did you gravitate towards cuts or coloring, or what was that thing that kind of first got your foot in the water for that?
Believe it or not, finger waves. Yeah, when I started, when I started, it was like a finger wave era. You know what I mean? So I was doing a lot of finger waves at the time. Like, that was the thing I was known for. I was doing a lot of box braids because like Poetic Justice was out at the time. Everybody went to the late Janet Jackson. So those are the two things. I couldn't cut hair in the beginning. Okay. You know, that came, you know, as I progressed. But you know, like most stylists, they're scared of that in the beginning. You get what I mean? So, but finger waves, box braids, those were the things that I was really, really known for.
Okay, gotcha. So then how'd you start to branch out? Because you are a very diverse artist. You do everything from cutting, coloring, you make the wigs, all kinds of things. What would you say kind of got you to learn the different aspects, or kind of take those steps to, hey, I'm going to do this or try that?
Because I knew at a young age what I wanted and what I didn't want. I knew I didn't want to be known as a black hairstylist. I didn't want to be known as, I just want to be a hairstylist. Right. I didn't want to be known for just cutting or just weaving or just coloring. I wanted to be known as just a great artist who was able to, you know, do different things and appeal to different markets without being put or pigeonholed into a box. I see beauty in all cultures. I see beauty in, you know, different styles that come out, you know, whether they're trends or whether it's something that's still more like a staple in the industry. And whatever I put my mind to, I'm very disciplined and very focused. So I knew then that I did not want to just be known as one particular thing. You get what I mean? So I wanted to be pliable without at the same time compromising the integrity of the work that I do. But I wanted to be able to like, whatever comes down the pike, be able to attack it and try to stay one step ahead of the trend and not follow trends. And I think that that's a problem now. But a lot of us follow trends. But if you study fashion, if you study hair, if you study art, then you can see things that are about to come, and not and put your own twist on it. You get what I mean?
Right.
So kind of like what I like with the wigs. Like wigs right now are very popular, and I do a lot of lace wigs, and I make a lot of wigs. But my twist is the cut that I put on the wig afterwards, which kind of like separates my units from other people. True customization. You get what I mean? So whatever is there, whatever is popping or whatever's trending now, you can take it and still make it your own, you know, and just be a step ahead of the curve but you can't do that unless you're a student of the game. You can't do that unless you study trends in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, study fashion, study music, study culture, study, you know, just think celebrities or just tastemakers that pretty much set the trend in the markets. And you can pretty much know what's coming and kind of like jump ahead of the curve and own it before it owns you.
I love that. Really staying on top of it. So with that, I mean, obviously, you know, you're essentially a legend in the game. You've been doing this, like you said, since the 90s. You've worked with great people, Foxy Brown, all kinds of greats, you know? If you can actually talk a little bit about what it was like working with all of these people. You know, these are people that people dream, you know, to work with. So what was it like kind of being a part of those teams, and how were they kind of different, or how were they similar?
It was great. It happened very young for me. So like my first celebrity artist was at the time the biggest artist in the world. So Little Kim was just the biggest artist in the world. Foxy Brown was like the biggest, like they're just, at the time there was nothing bigger than them. So, and I came from that era, wasn't social media driven. So it was a lot of hard work and preparation and footwork to get in that position. So in the beginning, it was like, they say the only thing that scares you more than failure is success, you know? So it was scary, like, oh, you know, I asked for this. Am I ready for it? You know, I'm young, you know, so what if I mess up? But I was blessed to be able to work with great people. It was great working with these people. Everyone treated me fine. Everybody treated me great. It's different working with different people, but that's why you have to be able to adjust your personality to whom you have to keep your personality, be who you are, but you have to understand and learn the personalities of the different people that you work with. You know, some people lean more towards the direction of maybe humor or talking, and some people may lean more towards the direction of, you know, just straight business, or you know they don't talk too much, or you know, so you learn how to be applicable to whoever you're working with at the time. But it's been very rewarding. I just use it as a catalyst to my next step in my career, you know. So working with them, working with Vivica, working with Megan, working with Lisa Ray, just working with Keisha Napoleon, who was very big at the time. Just working with a lot of wonderful people at the time helped catapult my career into, so I started with the hip hop scene, you know, the bad boy scene. And then Lil Kim, who was Biggie's protege, so got a chance to meet him and work with him. Foxy Brown, who was Jay-Z's protege, so I got a lot of chance to, that's how I worked with him and that situation. And then it catapulted me into the actresses, you know, and then that got me into the Vivicas, and that got me into the you know, the Megan Goods, and the, you know, the Tasha Smiths, and you know, just the different people, you know, who are very, you know, big at the time with like the Tyler Perry movies and, you know, things like that. So, you know, it just, you know, then I was really big in like it's not really popular right now, but the video girl scene. So I was doing like all of the big video girls at the time. So I was just always known for working with beautiful women. So my career is, you know, working in New York with Marcus Blasingame for Black Men Magazine, Hype Hair Magazine, Show Magazine, K Slay, you know, from the, you know, that whole era, you know, so Vibe Awards, BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, it just put me in a box, so to say, with working with a certain type of woman.
Right.
And that's kind of like where my career is right now.
Gotcha. How do you feel? Do you feel that it's different working more on like the music industry side versus a film side? Like, because I know those sets in general are quite different. Do you feel like the styling is at all, like the atmosphere changes anything, or is it pretty much the same?
The atmosphere is pretty much the same, but the work is different. Television work is very uneventful.
Okay.
Television work is not high glamour. Television work is you're just recreating everyday work.
Right.
So typically in a music video is she wants to look good. She's high glamour. She's wants to look her best. So you have that. When you're doing a movie, you might be styling a woman's hair who's waking up out of bed.
Right.
Who's in the kitchen frying chicken, or she's a school teacher, or she's sitting at home on the couch having a conversation with her husband. So you're recreating everyday looks.
Right.
And typically, depending on the treatment and the type of movie that you're doing, everyday looks could just be very just
kind of tousled and more casual.
Look, you know, especially if the woman, you know, you might be the main character, she may be a drug addict.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
she may just be a mother with 5 children, is just trying to make it every day. You know,
Right,
so
right.
you might have a scene here and there where you really get a chance to, you know, but a lot of times just recreating everyday looks. So that's the main difference as well. Television is more about continuity as well. So you
Okay.
have to, you know, so you might start at the end of a movie. Most movies start at the end and then work forward. So they jump around from scene to scene to scene. So you have to pretty much, you know, take pictures of your work. And if you revisit a scene, you have to make sure that the hair is done the exact way, in the exact style, and the part is in the exact same place, and everything is the
Right.
same when you have to revisit that a week later to do a scene again. So continuity is really big with movies as well.
Okay. Do you have a preference between the two? I mean, I would assume maybe more music videos just because you have more creative freedom, or do you feel like the artists tend to be more specific, like, no, I need this particular color, I need this style,
Yeah.
or when do you feel like the most
I'm going to say
happy?
I'm going to say movies at this time because they age well.
Okay.
The lifespan. You know, music videos now pretty much come and go. Everything now is just so. You know, it's not like before when music videos lived a long time. Like a Michael Jackson video lives a long time. A Beyonce video lives a long time. But today, most hip hop videos, they have a very short shelf life.
Right.
You know, because people have a very short attention span with those things. But a movie, like, they can, if you're lucky and land a classic, people are going to be watching that movie 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. So
Right.
you might be able to say, watch a movie 20 years from now and say to your child, yeah, I did that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You see that movie, I did the hair for that. You know, that's my work right there.
Yeah.
When music videos, you know, unless you like go to YouTube and search it, it's not just going to come on 10,
Right.
15 years down the road, you know what I mean? Or things like that. Or like television, like Martin is still coming on.
Yeah,
You know,
which
like
is
things
true.
like that. So a stylist for that, you know, the vehicle of the amount of people and the way that it ages over time is more gratifying to an artist.
Right. There's a lot more longevity there.
There's a lot more longevity.
Yeah.
And so if I had to say, I would say movies, but music videos are fun too. If it's a great artist,
Right.
You know, great people to work with, it can be fun too.
Right. And that's where experience comes in.
Yeah,
So
that's where experience comes in.
Yeah.
And you can't cheat experience. Like no matter how great you are coming out of the, coming out of the gate, and there's a lot of great artists that are coming out of the gate right now. So some things that experience is just going to be the only way to get to the other level. It's just experience.
Right. And actually, that kind of touches on the next question that I had for you. Because, I really want to also do this interview to reach out to those who, are aspiring artists, are aspiring hairstylists, things like that may be having questions on how to navigate the industry and be able to get to that next level, to be able to get those big breaks like the Lil Kims and things like that. So how would you say, of course, you are a traveling stylist, you're everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
So how would you say though, was that transition when you first did that, going from just, styling maybe people locally to being able to say, hey, you know what? I'm in California, but I have a client in New York, somebody that potentially wants to do work with me. When do you feel you're ready to kind of take that step? And when it's the first time, are you more particular on making sure that expenses are covered? Or is it more so, hey, you know what, this could be a good opportunity. Like maybe I'll kind of bite the bullet a little bit. Like how do you kind of navigate that in the beginning, or have any advice to somebody who's looking to get to that level?
Right. Good question. I always say make it work for you. Everybody is in a different situation. Everyone wants the goal, but people's starting points are different. Everybody's financial situation is different. Everyone's ability to navigate is different. You may have no children. You know, someone else might have children. You might have a husband or a wife. Someone else might be single. So you have to put all that into play. The first time I did Little Kim's hair, it cost me thousands of dollars. Like, because I didn't get paid.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to do it. I flew there. So you're talking about flights, you're talking about hotel, you're talking about little things like that. I invested into me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Just for a photo opportunity.
Right.
And I took that photo opportunity and it worked for me, you know. So you have to be willing to sacrifice. And that's what a lot of people, I think success, as good as you are in the industry, is about 30% of your success. Your talent is about 30% of your success. The other 70% is the intangibles. You get what I mean? That have you become successful. The discipline, the sacrifice, the hard work, the drive, the focus, the determination, sleepless nights, you know, just working for, like I was just saying to somebody else, like I've probably worked for like 100 days straight, you know, no days off, you know, just not going to bed, but falling asleep. It's a difference.
Right.
Traveling around the world, working hard, you know, eating when you can, just being the first one in the salon and the last one to leave, sitting under people, learning, researching. That's the part that is going to have you become a great artist and give you the staying power. There is a lot of great artists. There are a lot of great people who can put on a lace wig. There are a lot of great people who can do a sewing. There are a lot of great people who can do a silk press, do color. A lot of great people. In every hood, in every city, in every state in America. Thousands of people that do exactly what you can do.
Right.
But the difference is the work, the discipline, the focus, the drive that will separate you from everyone else. Right. And that's the difference. It's the success is, you have the most talented people who never ascend to great heights. So you look at people who may be watching a music video, maybe looking at Beyonce, maybe looking at Rihanna or a video or a show and like, damn, who did her hair? Like, that's a mess. Like, I can do way better than that. I'm going to tell you who's doing her hair. Right. Somebody who was working when you were sleeping. Somebody who was studying when you were smoking. Somebody who was in the club, or somebody who was in the salon when you was at the hookah lounge. Right. Somebody who was, chasing clients and chasing work when you was chasing A, B, C, and D. Right. That's who's doing her hair. Right. Someone who's reliable. Somebody who's going to be, if they have an 8, supposed to be there 8, they're going to be there at 750, not 820. Right. Someone who doesn't make excuses. Someone who's willing to sacrifice and give up their life to accommodate whoever they're working with at the time, and adjusting whatever they have going on to be able to be available, to always be ready so you don't have to get ready. Right. To always have your bags packed, to always be willing to go the extra mile that other people aren't willing to go, to be able to take much. That's who's doing her hair. Right. That's who's getting the $5,000 a day rates. That's who's getting the $500 for the haircuts. That's who's doing it. Someone who doesn't have the ego, doesn't have the, all the other things that come with people who are talented. You get what I mean? Right. And that's why you're good, but you're just good for nothing. Right. And you never really ascend because the other parts that go with being successful, aren't there. Right. So you look at people like, if you look at Beyonce, if you look at the Jay-Z, if you look at the Diddy, if you look at the Oprah, if you look at the Tyler Perry, if you look at these great people, they're billionaires, but they sleep less than you. How is that possible? You get what I mean? Ethic. Yeah. They sleep less than you. They just, that's the part of it, Right. And the difference is today's stylists don't want to be great. Right. They want to be known. They want to be known. I don't want to be known. I don't give a fuck if you know who I am. I want you to know my work.
Yeah.
I want you to just know my work. Like, I don't want you, I'm irrelevant. My client is the celebrity. My client is the star. You know, so when I see my work on television, if I see my work in a magazine, that is what's important to me. I don't need to, I'm an artist. If you look at Picasso, if you look at Van Gogh, if you look at Basquiat, that person can walk in this room right now. You wouldn't know who they were.
Right.
But you know their art.
Yeah.
That's what an artist is. So now everybody's clout chasing. And that's why it's a very, very short window that they have, because it's not, or people are chasing the bag, or no, you never chase a bag. You never chase money. Never chase money. If you're great at what you do, the money, have to run from money.
Right. It'll chase you at that point.
Yes. Like, no, don't chase money. Chase greatness. Hone your craft. Be great at what you do. And then you'll have so many people around you, you'll pick and choose who you want to take money from. Whew. And you'll be able to, that is what's important. But people are chasing money. That's not an artist.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why people's work, you can see it in their work. You can see it in their attitude. And that's why their work ethic is different once they reach a level of success.
Right.
I've been in the game for a long time. I work with every major celebrity there is to work with. I have 2 salons right now, opening up another one. I have my own line of flat irons. I'm in Houston, Texas. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in Philadelphia. I'm a father of a 3-year-old. And my work is the same as it was when I was straight out of beauty school.
Right.
Like, nothing has changed. I'm still the first one there and the last one to leave.
Right.
You know, I'm still sitting here with like maybe 3-4 hours of sleep from, you know, finishing up a client last night about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Right.
So that's the passion will have you to do that. The money will never have you do that.
Right.
But I love what I do, and I operate as though I have accomplished nothing.
Right.
You get what I mean? So I don't read the tabloids. I don't say, damn, I've done X, Y, and Z, or I've worked with this person, because I don't want to start
become comfortable.
Yeah. I don't want to take my foot off the gas. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in competition with no one, you know, and but I want to take whatever I have. I know I have a lot left in the tank, and I just want to be able to just die on E. You get what I mean? Like, I want to die on E. Like, I don't, you know, I'm not chasing anything other than that type of greatness, so that my work will continue to live. And then students in their handbooks, in their school books, are reading about me. The same way we read about the Vidal Sassoon, the same way we read about the Paul Mitchell, the same way I was able to work with Sassoon for a couple of years, and it was just the greatest. That's where, you know, I learned a lot of my cutting from. It was just the greatest opportunity for me. And, you know, it's just, those are the things. Step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, do things where you're uncomfortable. Stop being comfortable. You know, comfortable is Tasha Smith was a great friend of mine who I work with. I don't know if she's known from a lot of our Tyler Perry movies. The crazy one, Angie.
Yeah.
Great friend of mine. Was doing her hair one day, and I was talking about moving to LA. You know, I was still on the East Coast. I was doing her hair. I was doing a big hair show that I put on. It was Tasha Smith, Megan Good, Tamala Jones. Everybody was there. It was like a great event that I did with Eva Pickford that I was working with. And I was doing Tasha's hair, and I was saying, I'm thinking about moving. And I remember she looked up at me, and she said, complacency breeds failure. You know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are just complacent. Like, I'm a what's next guy. Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? You know, so, okay, what's next? So I like putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable, because that's growth.
Right.
You know, when you're comfortable, you're not growing. It's just, you're not. You know what I mean? But when you're uncomfortable, and when you're not the best in the room, and it, you know, still sharp and still, you know, and you're humble. I would like to think that I'm humble enough to, you know, I've been in the industry a long time, and there's 17 and 18 and 19-year-olds that I'll see in a salon. I'll say, hold on, what made you do it that way?
Right.
That's great. I love that. Like, how did you how did you achieve this look without this? Or how did you, because we're all students.
Right.
We're all students.
Right.
So arrogance will prevent you from moving forward and tapping into the youth.
Right.
Who have new innovative ways, who have, learning how to have a foundational knowledge to where you can eat the meat and spit out the bone. Know what to take and what to leave. I can listen to someone and disagree with 90% of what they said, but the 10% was valuable.
Right.
So I'll apply the 10% and leave the 90.
Right.
But when you don't have a foundational knowledge of the industry, then you're going to take the 100%. And then you're going to apply it to what you do, and you're going to become misguided. And I think that what's wrong today is people mistake being busy with being productive.
So how would you say you distinguish the two?
You have to know better. You have to study the part that we don't do. We just do it. Being busy doesn't mean that you're productive. Direction is more important than speed.
Right.
Because you can be speeding all over the place, but if you're going in the wrong direction, then your speed doesn't matter. I'd rather be going 10 miles an hour in the right direction than 30 miles an hour laterally.
Right.
So you're busy as shit. You ever see somebody that's just always busy? They always got something going on. They're always working. They always have this to do. They always have that to do. They never have time for nothing. 5-10 years, it's like, but where's the progress?
Right, right.
You're always busy. Like you're always doing something. But your bank account hasn't changed. Your stature in the industry hasn't changed.
Right.
Your notoriety hasn't changed. Your skill level hasn't changed. But you're always busy.
Right.
Because you're not pointed in the right direction. So you're making a whole bunch of lateral moves and you're working hard, but you're not moving in the right direction. So being rightly guided so that your hard work matters. You get what I mean?
Right.
So working hard is great. But if you're not working hard in the right direction, that's why it's very important to know what you want. What do you want out of this industry? What are you looking for? What is your short-term goal? What is your long-term goal? And then you can point yourself in that direction. And whatever tools you need to get you to where you're going, you'll know what's useful and what's unuseful. And you won't waste time with unuseful things, thinking that you're productive just because you're doing it.
Right. All right, so this next section is going to be more of the personal questions to really get to know you, kind of the fun stuff so we can ease up a little bit. So first, we're just going to hit right. You ready? Yeah. Are you single?
I'm single.
Okay.
Single as hell.
All right. But with that, I know you have a little girl at home. So how is that really quick though? Like, is it hard to balance? Like, because I know you're really busy. You're always traveling, doing all kinds of things. Is it hard to balance like the personal life with work and like, what's that like?
Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Because I want to be with her all the time.
Yeah.
Like she's the only thing that matters. You get what I mean? This matters now because of her.
Yeah.
So it's very hard, but I also know that she's why I'm doing it. So it's kind of like half a dozen in one hand and six in the other. I want to be with her all the time and just be daddy and just be up under her and just stare at her and just. But I also know that that's the life that I have for her.
Right.
And what I want to provide for her is impossible, without me being who I am and doing what I do.
Right.
But it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard, especially with the COVID, because she used to travel a lot. She's only 3, but she's been on the flight more than anybody I know.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Now I'm going to start putting her on the flight again, so I won't, have to leave her, as much. But it's super hard, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, but it would probably be harder for me not giving her the life that I want to be able to give her.
Right.
You get what I mean? And that's what's super, super important to me. Because like I said earlier to you, the only time I'm relaxed or the only time I'm not on go or stressed is when I'm with her.
Oh.
That's it. Because every other time it's like, even if I'm not working, I'm thinking of the next project. I'm thinking of what do I have to do next, or what's going on, or the next client, or the next gig, or the next this or that, or things I have to do, or the salons, or the flat irons. And so it's like, even though I'm laying in bed, I'm not resting. I wake up tired.
Right.
I can get to sleep, but I wake up tired because I wasn't resting, though I was sleeping.
Right.
Because I can't shut my mind off. But the only time I'm present in a moment is when I'm with her.
Right.
No matter what I'm doing outside of being daddy, I'm thinking of hair in the industry in some way, shape, or form. But when I'm with her, I'm not thinking. I'm just dad.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about nothing else. It's like the world doesn't exist. It's like COVID doesn't exist. My career doesn't exist. Nothing exists. You know what I mean? Other than her. So that's my haven and my safe place. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely difficult, but that's part of the sacrifice that I spoke about earlier.
Yeah. She's your piece though, but I love that.
She's definitely my piece.
All right. So really quickly also, you work hard, obviously. What do you like to spend your money on? Like, what's your guilty pleasure?
Clothes.
Okay.
Clothes and jewelry. Yeah, clothes and jewelry. Okay. But that has shifted though since I've had a child.
Okay.
Because now when I buy things, I'm like, this could go towards, this could be this could be another mutual fund, or this could be or this could go towards a college fund, or this could be another, so now I think 2 and 3 times before I did. Before, what I did didn't affect anyone but me.
Right.
But now what I does has a direct effect on her. You get what I mean? So, but there are definitely, and I love traveling, and things like that. Those are guilty pleasures, that I, pretty much, waste. I won't say traveling is wasting money because it makes you a better person.
Right.
But material things don't make you a better person. But so that's why I call it a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
That actually leads into my next question. For travel, what's a place? Well, 2 things. What's the favorite place that you've been to, and what's a place that you would like to go to that you have yet to go?
Barbados.
Is where you'd like to go, or you've been?
It's my favorite place.
Oh, okay.
You believe it or not, I've been everywhere.
Yeah.
But Barbados has been the most. I spent a lot of time there. I met a lot of great people. I actually got in trouble there with me and Eva Pickford. I did a show with Eva Pickford, and we got into some money tax evasion thing. It was just a mess. It was on TMZ. It was on Media Takeout. It was everywhere. But the people there are so genuine. They love me so much. They actually had a parade for me there.
Wow.
Yeah, a legit parade. Like I'm sitting in the car, and they were like, line the street. It was crazy. I'm serious. They gave me a parade. They was like, we're going to give you a parade through town. And they did it as a marketing tool as well to promote the show, which was the next day. So we drove all through the country, and the effect that I had on those people was amazing. And the effect that they had on me was so humbling and amazing. I'll never forget those people. I can remember this story, and I'll never forget it. And it was a school in Barbados, a beauty school.
Okay.
So I go into the beauty school, and I talk to the kids, and when it was over, I'm hugging. I'll never forget. If she walked in right now, I know who she is. So we take a group shot. I put my arm around this girl, and I could feel her heart. Boom, boom. I could feel her heart.
Yeah.
And I looked down at her, and she was glassy-eyed. And I'm like, are you okay? And she said, yeah. She said, you just don't know how much it means to me that I'm here with you. Like, she was about 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
That right there was a turning. I think whenever you think about giving up, whenever you think about quitting, whenever you think about is it worth it, that little girl's face always pops in my head. Like, she was just so. Then she just buried her head in my chest because she was embarrassed that she was crying.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this is another country.
Yeah.
And for these people to show me that love, and for me able to meet the prime minister and go on their talk shows and things like that, it was just like, it was a turning point in my career. And then at that point, I realized that my purpose is beyond hair. But I know that I have the ability to motivate people, to inspire people, to keep going.
Right.
No matter what, keep going. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what it feels like. I don't care how much pain or negative circumstances you have. Keep going. It's not over until you quit.
Right.
And you never know what people are going through. So I realize, and I believe that that's why I'm saying the school that I'm going to be opening is going to be the thing that I'm most proud of. Because in school, we're not only going to teach theory, we're not only going to teach practical, but we're going to teach character. We're going to teach the ability to keep going, to don't quit, that drive, that discipline, that focus, to make you an animal to where no matter what comes your way in life. Because what stops people from being successful is life. It's not the lack of skill, it's life.
Right.
It's things that make people turn away, or make people say to hell with it, or make people say, I can't do this, or it's not working. Life happens. So a lot of people don't have the fortitude to get through and navigate through those things. And right on the other side of that is the success. So that's what I want to build in the students who come from the Karl J Academy that will be placed in the different parts of the country. That's what's most important to me.
I love that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, now I see why that's number one. That would be number one for me too.
Because if you're not leaving anything, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
As an artist, what you leave can't be about you.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing that artists have today. They make it about them.
Yeah.
A beautiful song is never about the singer. Like, you hear a Michael Jackson song today, it lives.
Right.
Even though he's gone, his work lives.
Right.
Picasso's work lives. Beethoven's work lives. Rembrandt's work lives. Marvin Gaye's work lives. Basquiat's work lives, even though they're dead and gone, because they never made it about them. And that's the difference. When you make it about you, it's going to die with you. But if you make it about your work, if you make it about your passion, then it'll stand the test of time. Whether you're dead or gone, people will always reverence and respect your name because of what you left and how you've helped people navigate through situations to become successful. And that's what's most important to me, to help people, do what they want to do and, in this industry.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Well, what's a place that you would like to travel to that you have yet to?
Japan. Only because they cut hair amazingly.
Okay.
Like I've worked in Italy for 6 months. I've been to Switzerland. I've been to Paris. I've been to everywhere Africa.
Okay.
Because I want to just go there and help.
Oh, okay.
Japan for career.
Right.
But I would like to go to Africa and just help.
Right.
Like just teach. I would like to just go and teach and visit beauty schools there and visit girls there who may not have the education or who may be looked over, and just get and pour into them and pour into them and pour into them and be able to give them the tools that they need, and I say tools, I mean physical tools and also life tools to be able to become successful and bridge the gap between the less fortunate and the fortunate, so that they have everything that they need to become successful. So definitely Africa. I don't know where in Africa, but definitely Africa. I would like to. That would be my dream, to be able to go there and do that. Cameroon,
yeah. He was actually talking about that not too long ago, so we'll probably have to get into that after too.
That would be like my. Yeah. That would be like my dream, just to be able to do. That would bring me just a lot of happiness.
I love that. I love that, giving back.
Right.
And I know you touched on this a little bit about different things that you want to do, but what's something that's on your bucket list? And this can be just for personal, just leisure or career, whichever way you take it.
I love traveling. I would like to travel to other countries and without working.
Yeah.
And just absorb the culture without without working. I love traveling and just relaxing and being on my time and just doing what I needed to do and things like that. I would like to do things like that. Show my daughter the world. Like that's just major. Just show my daughter the world and have her, cultivate it, and refined in all aspects of the world, and just be sensitive to other people's ways, cultures, and things like that. Like that, that would be, but I'm a simple guy when it comes to like fun. Like I said, I love, the typical things. Like I love going out to eat. I love traveling. I love, fishing. I love, restaurants. I love shopping. I love music. I'm a music buff. I'm a Michael Jackson fanatic. And give me some MJ, and I'm just let me just go.
You set.
And I'm set. Like it don't take much for me to just, Yeah.
Okay, so this next question is a little bit morbid, but upon dying, if you were able to, would you rather relive the life that you've lived or live an entirely new life?
I would like to live the life that I lived. Because I wouldn't want anyone else to be my mother. I wouldn't want anyone else to be my father.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anyone else to be my daughter. And I just don't feel like I can improve on those three. I wouldn't want anyone else to be my grandparents.
Yeah.
I don't feel as though I can improve. Just that alone.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can improve on any of that.
Right.
So when I think back on life, I smile. I don't frown. I want to get time back. I'm not happy that I escaped it.
Right.
So when I lay down and I close my eyes and I reminisce about my childhood and memories, they're pleasant.
Right.
So I would rather stick to the greatness that I know than another life that I don't know what's coming. You get what I mean?
Right.
And I don't look at anyone's life and say goals like people do. Like no one's life is my goal. Because I don't know what their life is composed of. Because I'm not fooled by the boat. I'm not fooled by the jewelry. I'm not fooled by the picture on the beach at Dubai. Like I'm not fooled by that. I know that you may very well be super unhappy. I know that you, as a rich millionaire, will want to trade places with someone who doesn't have nothing.
Right.
If they could just be happy and have a peace of mind. So I'm not fooled by the scene that is
like
the stage. I'm not fooled by that. So I don't look at anybody and say relationship goals or lifestyle goals or career goals. No.
Not tricked by the facade.
I'm not tricked. And they very well may be happy. And they very well may be just like an amazing place. But that's for them.
Yeah.
That's for them. And,
yeah.
I want to make the best out of what I have.
I like that. All right. And then if you hadn't done hair, what would you do for a living?
Honestly? I've always wanted to be a professional boxer.
Oh, okay.
I come from a boxing family.
Yeah. All right.
I've always been a sports guy. Yeah, I've always been into sports. I played sports for 7 years, football for 7 years straight. 75 pounders, 100 pounders, 135 pounders, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Always been that type, and I've always loved boxing.
Yeah.
My grandfather was a boxer. My uncles, so I love boxing. I worked with Floyd for a while. I got an opportunity to work with him, and his not him per se, but
but like the team,
his team. I love boxing. And it's something that when I look at, I don't look at too many other different things, but when I look at boxing, I look at it like, I wonder if I could do that. I feel like I could do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could do that. So that honestly, that's what it would probably be. I love the science of boxing.
Yeah, I love that. I was not expecting that. That was a very interesting issue. Okay.
I love boxing. I won't miss a boxing match.
Okay. And this is the last question, and a pretty random one. What do you have under your bed?
Shoes and belts. All my belts are in boxes.
Okay. So it's neatly organized, like the storage. Okay.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
Shoes and belts right now is under my bed.
Shoes and belts.
Shoes and belts. That's literally everything that's under my bed right now. Shoes and belts. I don't really like throw things. I'm pretty much neat and organized when it comes to, when it comes to that. But shoes and belts is under my bed right now.
Shoes and belts. Yeah, all right, you heard it here first.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Karl J. Thank you for watching my episode today on Hair Queen TV. Make sure you check us out here, 5363 Wilshire Boulevard in the heart of Los Angeles, California, for all your hair and wig needs, everything, one-stop shop. Come check us out. You won't be disappointed.
Thank you so much for watching Hair Queen TV. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can see all the content just like this right when it drops.